Welcome to Talmudic Treasures. Today we're learning Nedarim, page 83, which discusses when it comes to a husband, he is allowed to remove certain vows, specifically when it comes to what's called inui nefesh, namely, where she makes a vow, his wife does, and it's something in which will cause her pain. It's going to be some form of difficulty within her life. So because of that, he's allowed to have it removed. And the question that was cited is if she makes a declaration in which there's two parts to it. Part of it is something which is painful, which he is allowed to remove, and part of it is something which he's really on its own not able to be removed. Do we say that since he could remove part of it, he can remove the other part as well, which is called Grora or Grera. And this is a dispute in the Talmud. And the example is, let's say she makes a vow against two types of bread. One which is a clean flour, in which is something which is very important for a person to be able to eat. And if you refrain from eating that, you make a vow, that is an inui nefesh. The husband could remove that. But at the same time, she also included something like bread, which is not good. And therefore, if you do without that, no one cares. Exactly how does that work? Does his annulment also work for that? Because on its own, he wouldn't be able to. So does it work because they're connected to one another? That's the question that's discussed. And the Talmud tries to give an answer when it comes to a woman who says, I am a Nazirah. A person who is a Nazir is not allowed to do a few things, including coming in contact with the dead. You can't go to a funeral, you can't go to a eulogy, you can't go to a cemetery, you can't do all these things. And also, you're not allowed to drink wine. So the Talmud says, I can understand the husband should be able to remove the element of drinking wine because that would actually cause her a lot of pain and anguish and frustration. That's called inui nefesh. But the other component of not becoming in contact with the dead, who cares? So maybe the husband shouldn't be able to do that, but he does have the right to do that, so maybe that's a proof. So on this, the Talmud says that there's no proof here, because just like there is a great loss if she doesn't drink wine, there's also a great loss if she doesn't go to a cemetery. There's a great loss if she doesn't go to a eulogy. Why? Why is that a loss? A person could certainly enjoy not having to do those difficult tasks. A person doesn't want to do those things. On this, the Talmud says a very interesting approach, which we've discussed before. And it says that if you are someone that will engage in going to a eulogy or eulogizing, one day when it's your turn, when you're 120, others will go to your eulogy and they'll eulogize you. But if you don't go to theirs, you show that you don't care, no one's going to do it for you either. If you don't help in the final moments of a person's life and for the burial, it's going to be difficult for other people to be found to be able to take care of you. Now, certainly this doesn't sound like a very nice approach, but this is the reality of life, that you cannot expect things back to you if you don't do anything. Life is not just about taking and taking. At a certain point, people are going to catch on, and they're going to realize that that's your approach in life, and they're just going to stop giving. Because if it's not reciprocal, if they see that you're just someone that's just taking, it's not going to be good for you. And therefore, it's important for this woman to be able to engage in going to eulogies and going to the funerals and things like that, because that will show people that she is someone that is worth eulogizing over too. Now, of course, this seems morbid, but again, this is something which comes to all forms of life. If you're a giving person, someone's going to be more willing to give you back. If you give a smile, someone's going to want to smile back. It's like looking in a mirror. The way that people treat you is often the way that you are treating them. And therefore, how important the Talmud says to treat others as you wish to be treated.